Well, hello friends, and welcome back to your Thursday Q&A. I hope you have had an amazing week so far. And remember, if you have a question you want me to answer for you, drop it in the comments, send me a DM, send an email, whatever. Let me know if you need to be anonymous and I'll answer whatever you have for you. So this week, we're going to start off with a really specific real estate question. What do I do, Leigh Brown, if I have if I have a buyer who wants to make an offer and the listing agent is out of town or unavailable? Well, the first thing you do is go into your multiple listing service, find the agent, find out who their affiliated broker is, and call the broker. The broker should be able to cover for the agent. And this is, of course, I know I'm in a perfect world here. I'm imagining a perfect outcome here where you can reach the broker and let them know you have an offer and their agent's out of town. I'm sure that agent communicated with their broker that they're gone. It'll be so easy. However, in the instance that they're not, maybe it's an at-home all-alone broker who does not have a broker in charge and they're now gone for days. Make sure you've tried them in all possible ways. You've emailed, you've texted, you've called, you've done all the things. According to our code of ethics and according to our MLS bylaws, if you are unable to reach the listing agent or their broker and you have an offer, you have a duty by law to present that to the seller. Now, I would just say that you go very slowly before you go contacting a seller. And if you have to reach out to them, let them know you have tried to find their agent and you have an offer, and do they have a way to reach their agent? Give them a chance to reach the agent so that their agent can be involved in the presentation. However, if their agent is totally missing, there's no broker involved, you actually have a responsibility to your buyer to get that offer presented. So by the way, if this is happening to you, document the whole thing, all of the timestamps and all the opportunities that you've had to reach out to that person so you can prove you were not trying to play shenanigans or interfere with an agency relationship. You were trying to represent your buyer. And I know that this can be a wildly uncomfortable thing to consider, but if you don't like what I'm talking about here, make sure that you are the kind of agent who sets up a relationship with somebody to cover your business. And if it's not your broker, if it's your real estate bestie, make sure that you put their information in the agent remarks in multiple listing service to say, you're on a cruise ship from December 26th to 30th. And so in the meantime, they could call Jane Atkins at whatever the phone number is. Make sure that we make it easy for each other, because remember, our multiple listing service is a data program on the surface, but really it is a marketplace built on cooperation. And the only way we can cooperate is if we can find each other. So think about those things. And the last little tidbit I'd add is make sure that your buyers know that it is, of course, a holiday season. People do go out of town. People do have family over, and they might just get swept up in the festivities and forget to look at their phone. Please ask your buyers to give a little grace. You give a little grace, and it's surprising how much we can figure out, okay? Second question is also related to what time of year it is. Hey, Leigh Brown, how can I end 2022 with a bang? Can I find quick deals? Well, to get something closed between now and the end of the year, you're pretty much talking about cash buyers. Now, where do you find cash buyers? Well, often they're looking for a value play. Have you talked to your database, to your past clients and friends and neighbors about investment real estate? I know that many of my investors like to buy at the end of the year because they're looking for sellers who want to be done by the end of the year. So there could be an opportunity to negotiate based on somebody's tax strategies. But to get there, you need to know how to work with investors. And a quick way to get some information and dial right in, if you go to financialwellness.realtor, that's for members of NAR, you could get some education on investment real estate. You could also call a realtor who's very good at investments and see if they will mentor you in the process. Hopefully that's your broker. So you always want to go to your broker first for education, and then start talking to your clients. Ask if somebody wants to move assets out of the stock market into real estate. They could do it by the end of the year. There's also an opportunity to reach out to parents of college kids who may be looking to get their kids out of the very expensive dorm situation with room and board and into something that they own for less money. So start reaching out to people around the universities and colleges near your house. Just see if anybody's looking. And by the way, while you're on the phone talking to people and while you're spreading the word that you can help with these investment properties, make sure that you're setting some appointments to see the available properties under the level of preview, so the listing agent knows you're not actually bringing a client with you. But you could go have a look at it, know the bedroom setup, know what it may or may not need in the way of deferred maintenance. It's going to make you a really great resource when somebody does get on the phone and say, yes, I'm ready to move. All right, so our third question of the day has to do with the time of year that we're in. Hey, Leigh Brown, how can I capitalize on other realtors getting lazy this time of year? All right, first of all, work. It's my favorite four-letter word that y'all don't want to do, because let's be honest, in real estate, we don't have a whole lot of self-discipline in many instances because nobody's sitting there telling you to do it. All right, Leigh Brown's telling you to do it. Go work at least 5 days a week, maybe 6. Not 7 though, because you do need to breathe. So when other realtors are taking the time off, and it's earned, I am not fussing if you're taking time off. However, if you want to move your business forward, you got to keep walking. What's interesting is if you look at the data in real estate over a whole long span of years, and y'all know I'm a nerd, I look at the numbers, the odds of selling actually don't change that much in December versus, say, April, which is our spring market. In April, we have a lot of listings and we have a lot of buyers. In December, we have fewer listings and we have fewer buyers. The difference is in April, you have a lot of people who are saying, well, you know, if it sells, it sells, and they go ahead and try it during the spring market. A lot of our buyers have that same mentality. They're out there looking for the perfect house, and if it happens, they can move at spring and summer. In the winter, nobody really wants to move in the winter. It's not your favorite time. It's cold, it's wet, there's holidays, there's just that general sense of because the sun's not out all the time. So here's what I want you to remember. When you have a listing in December, they're probably dead flat serious about selling. And when you have a buyer who wants to look in the middle of the holiday season, they are probably dead flat serious about buying. And that's why your odds don't move a whole lot. So it may look like there's less, but who's out there is quite serious. Now, remembering all of that, if you think there's an opportunity for you, it's all about being visible. And when I say being visible, I don't mean wearing a big flashy name tag everywhere you go. I mean, when you go to the PTA meetings, show up. Instead of going to the Zoom call for the planning and zoning meeting in your county, show up. Instead of just writing a check to Meals on Wheels, show up. I mean, a lot of life is about showing up. And we make excuses. We want to do the easy way out. Well, this is the reality, y'all. If you always do things the easy way, somebody else gets the results that come from doing things the hard way. And the hard way isn't always about money. It isn't always about physical labor. Sometimes it's just about showing up and your physical presence being there. Frankly, I just laid out for you. It's kind of like when you go to church, right? You can do church at home by yourself, but how much do you pay attention on Zoom? You kind of pay attention, but when you're there and somebody's sitting beside you, you're far more likely to sit up and not doze off because they expect you to be working hard at why you're there. The same thing in real estate. Quit dialing it in. If you're sitting there on social media thinking that that's going to move you forward in the market, that's not going to move you forward in the market. What moves you forward is being visible with people and answering their questions. And sometimes that means you go to a new home community and visit the model. You really want to drive your business forward? Go do the things nobody else is doing. Don't just go to model homes when you have a buyer. Go so you can get to know the product and get to know the on-site agent. You could also get a list of their prices and their inventory and lot availability. And maybe you're a realtor who does not know diddly-poo about new construction. I bet at this time of year, you could get the project manager to take you through a build-in process, and they will show you some things about that house that you didn't know before. So this is all different ways to capitalize on the quieter time of year. Think about education, think about outreach, think about being visible and doing the hard work. I promise you, there's a huge opportunity no matter what's happening in the market. The question is, you going to be the one that takes it, or are you going to let somebody else have it? That's not you. Go out there, get it done with a smile on your face, spread some joy, and along the way, you'll probably sell some houses. I will see you next week.